Hey guys, my name is Meads. We're continuing on with the Ultra Act reviews, and this one is Glenfire. Again, he's from the Ultraman Zero's movie, Revenge of Belial. He's part of Ultraman Zero's team, or his brotherhood. So Glenfire is actually, he did join a band of pirates. So he's a pirate in some sense, and he acts like a guard. He's actually quite a character. He's very spirited. He's full of energy, and he's also boisterous, or we could say he's arrogant. Full of himself also. He is actually quite strong. As you can see from the flame on his head, his element is fire. Kind of reminds you of Captain Falcon. He does a lot of Falcon Punch kind of moves. Also, one thing I noticed in the movie, that just all Ultramans have this beacon in the middle of the chest, which blinks, or it lights up blue, kind of like that one in the middle, as you can see. For when they have power, then it goes down when they're running out. But in the movie, I never saw Glenfire's. It's kind of like a sun in his chest. It never runs out. Well, they are in the same universe, so maybe he continually regenerates energy, but he never runs out. It's actually quite powerful. Alright, so let's have a closer look at this figure. Alright. And first thing you notice, first thing you probably want to get this figure for is the clear parts, especially the orange. I really love orange, and this is really awesome. And it's kind of like a see-through. So his whole face is just, and his hair is just all fire, which is really awesome. And you have really nice sculpted bicep, really nice. And here's one of the Ultraman or Ultra Act figures that has a swivel bicep, which I really like. The other ones, it's all full and you can only swivel a little on the base, kind of like what he can also do. But poses like this, he cannot do, or certain poses, but yeah, it still works out. Head articulation. There is a collar there, which kind of might hinder a little bit, but he can look left and right, up and down, which is great. And on the back, just a preview, he has this really nice kind of like part of his armor. Looks awesome. And there's a small part here that you can remove, and which you can connect a Tamashii stage act, so you don't have anything holding him. So it's like flying, and it's actually a lot cooler, or a lot better than have something wrap around his waist, which you can still do. Again, all Ultra Act figures have really nice ab articulation. And the armor and just the whole torso contours to their movement, which is really great. Doesn't look weird at all. And I already shown you the articulation. You can do pretty much really good. Then you have the hips. This is very agile. This figure, it's awesome. You can bend him so many ways. And they do have this little bit of movement here, which is kind of weird in my opinion, but it does give you a little bit more articulation, especially this one if you want. Let's see, you have ankle, and you can bend this, which is great. I like the knee part of this one. It's not like a zero. Yeah, yes, zeros, and actually mold the same color, which is really nice. Yeah, for this one, I really like the red. It's kind of matte. It's not really glossy, but my lamp is making it glossy. This part here is clear, and there is that piece inside. I don't think you can pry that out. Also, effect parts. Let's go with effect parts. First one I'll cover is the head, or pretty much the face. So if you can remove this part here, and this part here is clear actually, and you can replace it with this one. So this one you get a lot more. So when he's fired up, which he does a lot of times in the show, you're gonna get this look, which is really awesome, and it's a really great depiction from the movie. Moving on, you can swap out this part here. Just pop it off, and you're gonna have this fireball that he's holding on his hand. Sadly, you cannot remove the fireball. It's part of his hand. But, you know, nonetheless, you're gonna have this pose. And also, let's swap this out with one of the holding hands. By the way, this guy has a lot of hands. You already seen the thumbs up or pointing a hand right here. And you have that. You have the open hand. It goes for both sides. You have the closed fist, and you also have this one right here. I don't know if they have oh, you do. So this is for the left hand and right. So you do both have those. Yep. So a lot of hands for this guy. So for this, what you can do is have this effect part, which is kind of long, and he does use a lot of fire staffs. It's kind of like a staff in which you can use to whip around or whack those evil zeros. Yeah, I'm just gonna call those evils. I forgot what their name. They look like zero. Anyways, why don't we use a Tamashii stage hack? And this is pretty much the pose I like to keep him in. Oh, if we can get him to work. Alright, I finally got it with a stand. And as always, I mean, a great way to display this, as you can see, is hide the stand on one of his leg. So it seems like it's floating, and it especially works out if you remove that small piece on the back, so you don't see the Tamashii stage hack at all. This actually looks like it's flying, which is great. Sometimes it takes a while to hold the staff here, especially the way, I mean, it's a huge flame effect part, and his hand doesn't grip quite well. It kind of slides out sometimes. But that's not all. You're gonna get this huge thing, and you're gonna get this awesome flame effect part, which is a lot bigger than this one right here. It's kind of like identical, but you get more. So kind of like what happens with the head, you just get more flame effect parts, and that's really awesome. Also, I want to point out that he only has one holding hand, which is on his right. The other one is just like a supporting one. He does have this on the right one as well. So the only way to hold this is this way. I also tried the other way around. Kind of works out, but you kind of have to work with the balance. So this is pretty awesome. A lot of effect parts on this one, and I'm actually quite amazed. I didn't really check out much pictures other than, you know, the first part where he has the flames. That it comes in this kit. Here's the back of the box. A lot of flame effect parts, and actually I'm missing one more. I forgot. Oh, I have. I think my Ken has it. Let me grab it real quick. All right, and we have the flaming effect part. Looks really awesome. The weird thing about this, it doesn't have the hand, so you actually swap out the fist, and the whole thing, it does have a mold of the fist in front, but the whole thing is just flaming. It's awesome. And actually, I use this for my Zaku Ken for his Shoryuken move, and it is awesome. So even actually, this whole kit is awesome because of the character of Glenfire. But just having this crazy assortment of effect parts, it's a lot. It's a lot of plastic here, and it's also, you know, it's clear, it's vibrant. It's really awesome, and a great depiction of Glenfire. You know, also you have this pose that you can emulate from the movie. He does brush his hair up a lot. Again, it's a sign of him being arrogant. But yeah, I think it's kind of cool that you can do that too. Alright, so this is pretty much my conclusion. And I just want to do a quick backtrack. Before I watched the movie, I was just seeing these figures online with a good help from my friend Fredrex. And I was checking out these figures online, and they're kind of okay for me in the beginning. It's kind of weird since I like to get the ones with the original design with the bug eyes, kind of like Kamen Rider, you know, your usual Ultraman. And these guys are kind of weird, and they have different themes to it. Themes added to them. You have the fire, the mirror, and you have the robot. So it's kind of weird. I mean, for me, the Janbot is already a robot and mecha. I like robots, so no problem there. But these two guys kind of a bit weird, and I wasn't really getting them. But you know, I told myself, you know, why not give it a shot? And I'm actually quite happy I did. You know, you're getting a lot of this awesome clear effect parts for Glenfire, and a lot of these hands and poses you can do with them, as well as really great articulation. I've already mentioned with that in my review. Then Mirror Knight, which we'll review next. This also comes with a lot of cool effect parts, and is able to do this kind of like a symbolic pose in the movie, which again till we'll do the review. And yeah, so I've grown to love this, especially watching the movie and rewatching it. They look awesome in the movie, and you can just reenact some of the poses they did. And it's really awesome. I really like this figure line, and I'm actually hoping that they'll continue it more. We're seeing, well, from seeing online, they're doing a couple more Ultraman. I think Dyna is coming up next in February. Not sure if I'm gonna get him. Not too fond of the design. Again, I'm really hoping that they'll make a Nexus, and I think they are making it. I'm just waiting for it to release. They're also making Gridman, and I actually saw the US version of it, the Superhuman Samurai. And well, you know, despite, you know, I saw the American version, I like the design of the Gridman. I think it's easier to pronounce, say his name that way. So yeah, the Gridman is awesome, and I wonder if you can actually have the robot, and you can transform him. You know, you get this armored Ultraman, which is cool. Yeah. Okay, I'm getting off tangent. But I hope you guys find this review very informative, and hopefully help you decide if you want to get Glenfire. And I highly recommend you get him along with other Ultraman Zero's teammates. You have the Mirror Knight and Janbot. They're awesome. I highly recommend them. Actually, I like them more than Ultraman Zero himself. That's kind of funny. But yeah, again, if you have any questions, please leave them below. Again, question could be anything. I'll be more than willing to answer them. Unless, of course, well, there are questions that I refuse to answer for obvious reason. If you can ask how much these are, I think lately, on my previous reviews, I actually did put the price, but sometimes I don't. And again, the reason for me not saying them or forgetting them or not answering your question is, if you really want to get the figure or mold kit, you're gonna look it up, and pretty much, you know, that's where. I mean, yeah. I'm just gonna leave it on that. All right, so. Again, hope you guys enjoyed the review. So until then, this is Meads. Thank you for watching.